Hi Stampers, it's Madeline from stampinwithmadeline.stampinup.net, and today I'm going to be showing how to use this amazing stamp set called Bunch of Blossoms. It's in the annual catalog and you can get it along with the punch, and both of these together, if you buy them both together, you can get 10% off. So it's a really great deal and it's worth it to buy them both at the same time because you get that sale price and they just work so great together. You don't have to fussy cut everything out. The punch makes your life so much easier, as you will see. So if you watched my previous video, I did a diamond fold card for Christmas, but I wanted to try out this set with this card. So I did a diamond fold card with this Bunch of Blossoms stamp set and punch, and let me tell you, it was so much fun to make, and the petals were so much easier to do with that punch. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the punch. So let me show you this card. So this is the front, and then when you open it up, it's has lots of different fun things in there. So let me go through this with you. I used the 2015 to 2017 in colors, and I also used the ink pads that go with it. So I used the paper that went with it, the ink pads that go with it, and also the DSP, the designer series paper that comes with that set of 2015 and 2017 in colors. So I used the Sweet Sugar Plum for the ink here, and this is the Flirty Flamingo in the back here, this color back here, and then I use Emerald Envy for the leaves, and then in here the same kind of thing. This is Flirty Flamingo, and the Sweet Sugar Plum. So I had a lot of fun with this card. I also used the basic black for the sentiments and also for the outlines of the leaves and the flowers. So today I'm not going to be showing you how to make the card. I'm going to show you how to make this front and how to use the stamp set and punch to make this beautiful flower here on the front. So let's get started. This stamp set is actually a 3-step stamping process. So you're not just using the stamp one time, you're using it 3 times, 3 different stamps to make that one image. So when you open this up, there's lots of stamps in here. So let's pull out the ones for the flower. So on here there is 3 of them for the flower. You have the outline, the whole inside, and then the half inside, so it's kind of broken up a little bit. So we're gonna do those. And then for the leaves, it's the same thing. There is the outline one, the full background one, and the kind of one that looks broken up. All right, so the technique with this is that we're going to be doing a lot of stamping off, and we're going to be doing different step stamping. So let's get right into it. First, I'm going to do the leaves, because that's what's going to be on the bottom of this. So first what we do is you want to make your diamond. So on the diamond fold card, the paper diamond was, first you cut it at 6 by 3 3/4. So let's do that first. So a tip with this that I'll give you is this is how I do it. I get my cutter, and you want to do half on each side. So this piece is a little bit smaller than the recommended one for the diamond fold, but let's use it for an example. So this is 3 1/2 instead of 3 3/4. So half of 3 1/2 is 1 3/4. So I mark it with a pencil on both sides, up and down. Then do the other side. This is 6 across, so we're going to do it at 3. Mark it on top and bottom. Now, you're going to line up these lines, okay? So you can see here, here's the top line, and here's the middle line. And you line up on the edge of the paper where that line is, and then you're going to cut. And you can save these for the actual card, because in the card, you can use them. So it's a really great card to use all your scraps. Okay, so now you're going to line up that point with the bottom. So it's important to get both parts on this line. Cut again, and then just keep going. Okay, so now that that's done, we have our diamond. I'm going to use the other side. You want to use the side that doesn't have any pencil marks on it. So now we're going to do our leaves. So first we're going to do the bottom, the one that has the full coverage on it. So get your ink block, put your photopolymer stamp on there, and we're going to be using the piercing pad like I've talked about in the previous videos. This acts as the foam that would be on a wood stamp. It makes it so you get a clean, crisp image. And I'm telling you, with photopolymer stamps, you cannot go without this piercing pad, so make sure you get one. Okay, so we're going to be doing some stamping off. So I'm going to get my scrap paper out. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to tap, tap, tap this stamp. You want to get full coverage of the ink. Now, you want to stamp off fully, just like your regular stamping. And then you're going to put it here, anywhere you want, press for 3 seconds and lift off. So see how it's pretty light, but that's how we want it. Okay, so we're going to do this 3 more times, or twice.
2 more times.
Okay, so now that we're done with that one, we're going to do the second step. So this one has the one that is a little broken in the center, it looks like. So this one we're not going to stamp off. So make sure it gets fully inked, and then you want to line it up with these, which is a little difficult, but you can do it. So after that, then you're going to switch to the basic black. You want to do the leaf outline in basic black. So no stamping off, we're just fully stamping this, and you're lining it up again, and do it for all
3.
So now that you have the outlines on there, now we're going to work on the flowers. So the flowers, I did a few tests of this and I ended up liking it most if I did the flowers on a separate piece of paper and then punch them out and put them on there. That way I could glue the first 4 down and then glue the next 4 down with Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's do the stamping first. Okay, so you're going to want to start with the full stamp here. No breaks in it. Put it on your stamp pad, and these are going to be stamped in the Sweet Sugar Plum. All right, so this is going to be the one you stamp off. So make sure you get it fully inked, stamp off, and we're going to be making 8 of these. Next, we're going to do the flower that is broken in the center there. Okay, so this one we're not going to be stamping off. We're going to get it fully inked and stamp it right on here. So again, you want to line up as best you can on this flower and stamp. And do it for all 8 of them. After that, now we're going to do the outline of the flower. So it kind of looks like a seashell to me. This is going to be in the basic black again. So again, for all 7 of them, or all 8 of them, you're going to do this outline. So you just line it up and go down the line and do all 7. So now we're going to punch all of these out, but first what I want to do is the punch will punch a whole bunch of stuff out if you use a full piece of paper. So we want to cut these flowers, and I'll show you a good trick once you cut them to easily punch them. So just cut them all out, doesn't matter the spaces on either side. Okay, once they're all cut out, put all your inks away. And this is how we use the punch. So here's the punch, it locks. So you want to press down, open the little lever, and here you go. Okay, so we're going to use Post-it notes. So it's hard to get this little tiny piece of paper in here in the right way. So what I do is I attach it to a Post-it note. So I just get cheap Post-it notes that I attach this to, okay? And then it's easy for me to maneuver this into the punch sometimes. I would put it on the end, that way you don't get that excess paper that keeps lodging onto the metal pieces. So guide this in, get it to the place that you want. And squeeze. So see, you can tell that a lot of little papers punched out with it, but with the Post-it note, it's fine. It's not the cardstock or anything. And there is one of our petals. So we're going to go ahead and do this for all 8 of them. And you might need to get new Post-it notes. That's fine. Let's go through and do all 8 of these. So now that we have all of our little flowers punched out, we have 8 altogether, we're now going to start putting them on the card. These first leaves that I'm going to put down, the petals, I'm going to glue those down. So they're going to be flush. Well, not exactly flush, but they'll be glued down to the paper, so there's not going to be any popping up of those. But then the last four, we are going to use Stamping Dimensionals in order to get them in a 3D effect. So these are my Stamping Dimensionals that you can get on my website. They just give 3D effects to your cards. So they look like this. And most of the time you can cut each one of these little things in half because you don't need a full one always. And then I just use my adhesive. So I'm going to put these 4 petals down first, put a little bit of adhesive on it. Okay, now I'm going to use the Stamping Dimensionals to put these on. So I'm going to cut this in half. That way I can use one for 2 of them. So there's 2 white papers. You take off one side to stick it to the petal. Then you take off the other and stick it to the card. It's okay if it comes off, just press a little harder on it. And here we go, we're just placing these around the other petals. So take another Stamping Dimensional, cut it in half. There we are. Alright, so the first time I did this card I thought, there is something missing to this flower. What do I need to put on there? So I'm going to cut out a little circle just for the center. I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo just so it matches. You could use any color you want. I'm just doing a quick little circle just so that everything looks flush and correct. Alright, there's that. Now, what I did is I curled these up. So these leaves, I just use my fingers and I curve them up a little bit. That way they get a little bit more of a 3D effect because they are popped up a little bit. But by folding them, you could use your bone folder to do this. I've seen some techniques where people use their bone folder. And then I also try to bend the ones underneath as well. So it's okay if there's too much adhesive on it, but I would recommend to not put adhesive near the edges because then you can fold it up like this and make it really look like a flower. And don't be afraid to bend it. It doesn't look bad. You can always push it down more if you want. All right, and look at our flower. Don't you just love that? Oh, I just think this is a beautiful stamp set. It does take a little bit of time and a little bit of courage to open it up because it does look a little bit intimidating. I know it did for me, but once you open it, it is definitely worth it. So let's just finish up this cover since we're on it. So let's do a sentiment. I'm going to use basic black. And I'm going to use the Let's Celebrate Your Day. And that's in the Bunch of Blossoms as well. So get our piercing pad back out. I'm just going to center this on here. There we go. And also, I really like this tiny little flower that's in there. I don't know if you can see that. I really love it to put little accents on this front cover. I just think it really makes the card look finished. So I'm going to use that Sweet Sugar Plum again. And just this tiny stamp I'm going to stamp on here around. So you could do it anywhere. Like I had a little blimp of black ink that I had gotten on it with my fingers as I was stamping other stamps. And this was perfect to just cover it right up so that it didn't even look like anything had happened. All right, there we go. So this is something you could add to that diamond fold card that I have a previous video for that you can check out. Let me show you it one more time. So this is the front cover to that. So on this card, I used the Big Shot, and I used the lovely lace folder, embossing folder to get this background. And it is just beautiful. I love the Big Shot with the embossing folders. It really turns your paper into a 3D paper. And then here's all my DSP. So this was the inside of the card. I just love this card. I really love the stamp set. I really think it's a great investment. You can make so many different things with it, and I think you're just going to love it. So you can find that again on my website, stampinwithmadelyn.stampinup.net. I want to take a second to thank you all for watching, for subscribing, for giving me such great feedback on my videos and asking questions. I just love it. I love the conversation that happens all together after the video is done. A few things, I'm going to have a special swap week of videos. I just put together a great online swap that's completely full. We had 5 different swaps. I'm getting them all in the mail, and I'm sending them out next week, and as soon as I send them out, I'm going to be putting the swap videos on here. So there's going to be 5 different swap videos, and also an extra special one this Saturday that'll be my demo meeting swap. So you'll get to see what all of us demos traded and made together. So please subscribe to my channel. There's lots of fun stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you all. Again, my website is stampinwithmadelyn.stampinup.net. I'll have in the description all the products that I used, even for this diamond fold card. That way you can make this if you want. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. I really do appreciate all the feedback and comments. So please keep chatting with me. I just love it. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you love this card. I hope you get this stamp set. I just love it. And for now, keep stamping, stampers.